this thing working? Give me some sound over here.
Yeah.
The Out of Bounds Show is powered by the award-winning golf courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
All right, the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Heavy NFL today, which is good, with it being opening night with the Buffalo Bills and my Los Angeles Rams, reigning Super Bowl champs. Cam Akers, still incredible that he came back in 6 months from an Achilles, and Blake's Cowboys can't get Michael Gallup back from a knee injury. And what's it been, Blake? 12 months?
No, he got hurt
into
the season or into the season last year. So knee injuries are different though than ankle injuries. I mean, every injury's unique. Everything's special. So
yeah,
I don't know. If he comes back, he comes back. That's good.
Well, we want to welcome in our friend Chuck Mullins. We refer to him as NFL Chuck, Brown super fan on the Out of Bounds Show, CoxwellLaw.com, attorney with Buddy Coxwell, and NFL Chuck's been joining us for how many years have you been jumping on the show?
I'm thinking 12 or so.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Dang.
I had hair back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I. Well, a little bit.
Blake was in high school.
Blake was in high school back then.
That is accurate.
Oh, man. Hey, it's Mike Detilier's birthday. How about that?
I like listening to him.
Yeah, he's good.
He's entertaining.
No doubt. No doubt. How excited, as someone who you grew up an NFL fan over a college football fan, now that you've been down here for 30 plus years, you love SEC football too, but you grew up first and foremost, Browns and following the Steelers and so on. So how does it feel on like opening day for you?
Basically like you were at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get downstairs and see the packages. My package with the Browns was always kind of, like Charlie Brown, like I got the rocks. But it's still you have a chance. Everybody's, 0-0. And just to watch the game tonight with the Bills and Rams, that's just going to be phenomenal. That could be a preview for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And you just mentioned Cam Akers coming back, and I was watching him run a ripped Achilles. I mean,
how you do that?
I don't know. I could barely get out of the bed anymore. I consider myself, that's my most athletic move at this age, is getting out of the bed.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I got.
That's pretty good. Chuck Mullins on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. You can watch the show on Facebook, search the Out of Bounds Show. And exciting weekend this weekend. I don't even know who your Browns play this weekend.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Who'd they just get rid of?
Yeah, we got.
Oh, Carolina Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw where one of the Browns, Chubb, took a shot at Baker Mayfield yesterday because he said, I don't know what to expect from Baker because it's Baker.
Yeah,
something like
they
that.
asked him, what do you
expect?
expect from Baker?
I did, and I don't know if he meant that the way it was taken, because he could and this is what I mean. Baker can be very calm, or he could be very Baker and stare you down, talk a lot of trash, and so that's and of course I think he's going to go with the latter because of his new shirt that was his marketing team came up with. It has a broken dog collar, and it says off leash. Yeah,
Blake, did you know that?
It's pretty good.
That they had rolled that out?
Pretty smart.
Okay.
Oh no, he's a genius marketer. He's entertaining, and I think he's still going to be a good NFL quarterback.
Okay, no, hold on, real quick. So he's good. I mean, fringe good, or where are you with that? Do you think he's better than Dak?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think the track record's there for that. But I think he can be a very top 15 quarterback.
But at the 14-15 range
I really do.
The top 15.
I do. I mean, I figured you guys would want to ask about this, and the 16 games prior to his injury, where he put together 16 games, were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, his stats, his throwing, the opening game against the Chiefs last year, where our defense couldn't stop anybody in the fourth quarter, much like UNC's defense this past Saturday. Baker had the ball on the string. It was very fun to watch, and I think the injury really hurt him.
Sure.
He's very vocal, and I think his relationship with Kevin Stefanski soured, and they were looking to part ways. He wanted to be more Oklahoma Baker, where he got to call the plays and do that, and Stefanski wanted to no, you're going to run it this way, and I think that led to problems. And maybe Matt Rule in Carolina, they've got a good team. They really do. If McCaffrey, he's the key. If he stays healthy, because Baker does need the running game.
Because Rule is coaching for his job with the Carolina Panthers.
Absolutely. I mean, and for Baker to go down there and, there was no quarterback competition. I know Matt Corral got hurt.
Right.
But, Baker took it over, and I think healthy Baker with a good running game, they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. And just for the record, I was going to go to that game in Carolina. I was going to fly to Charlotte. But I was not going to fly over there and watch Jacoby Brissett play. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I've watched Charlie Fry, I've watched Johnny Manziel, Brian Hoyer, but I'm not going to make the trip to watch Brissett get beat this week. Again, the Browns are 1 and whatever since the return on opening day. So I'm not. My son.
Are you going to? So Deshaun comes back.
They play the Texans his first game. Yeah, they're having a big 2-for-1 massage special going on in the Texas-Houston area, if anyone is interested.
Is that game in Houston?
Yeah. Yeah. So could you imagine the signs?
Are you going over there?
I think I am.
Okay.
I might go for that one.
Okay.
I have to. I mean, I just think that's going to be one of those games.
You've never had a quarterback like this. Take the off the field out.
Oh, no.
Okay. I mean, this guy's top 10 talent.
Oh, top 5. I mean, we forget his last season and how bad they were and how good he was. Yeah. And I think that was his worst season as a pro. But and I had to go back and watch some highlights. But to be honest, I was not high on this.
Yeah.
Because I knew what it was going to bring, and it has brought the distraction. And I didn't know if we had the leadership to overcome the distraction. That remains to be seen. We got the youngest NFL team roster-wise.
Do you really?
Yeah, we got a third-year head coach. We do have some stability. This is the first time.
Because Stefanski looks like he's a good coach.
He does, and he's very measured. He doesn't get excited.
He's a grown-up.
But I can't understand how you coach football and have no emotion. It's just the most. It's like, I guess, Tom Landry.
Belichick.
Nah, that's true.
Or Harbaugh at the Ravens, not at Michigan. But so that's a good. I like that. All right. So NFL Chuck Mullins on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, driven by the Ram trucks at Mac Hike and Flowwood, MacHikeFlowwood.com. Blake, I think Chuck just gave us a topic. Showing no emotion to showing emotion. So like Tom Landry and Chuck Noll showed no emotion. Bud Grant for the Vikings with 4 Super Bowls, but they didn't get him. Marv Levy didn't show it.
Don Shula, he was kind of.
He didn't really show emotions.
No, it's just very stone-faced.
Yeah.
Now, then you flip it up. You got John Madden back in the 70s.
That's right.
All right. And, of course, Ditka in the 80s.
No doubt.
And it's just funny how these things have changed. But now we look at the guy from the Lions now.
Oh, Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
Dan Campbell.
I think he's on the high end.
You know, y'all look alike, by the way. Has anyone ever told you that? You have very similar features.
What does that mean? He bald?
Buzz head, like tight head.
I knew that was coming.
Aggressive.
No,
you really
like Dan Campbell.
100%. Like, he's bigger, but yes, you guys look similar.
All right, so back to this.
Okay.
Belichick is stoic. John Harbaugh is stoic. Andy Reid is stoic.
Saban's not.
Saban is very animated.
I know that's not.
No, he's animated.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the college and NFL is so much different. Andy Reid doesn't.
He's not very.
Now, Sean Payton on Sundays, it's even in the book that Jeff Duncan wrote, they basically say he's a maniac. Now, he was stoic throughout the week, very measured in film room and on the practice field, but they call him Crazy Man on Sunday.
Well, and look who his mentor was, Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go back and watch some of the NFL films where he is cussing Phil Simms out on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some of the things he says, and I love listening to Bill Parcells interviews.
Or cussing Belichick on the sidelines as his DC. That was awesome.
But yeah, I think that's a good topic. I stumbled upon that. But you look at Mike Tomlin; he's kind of both.
Oh, he
will explode.
He's pretty damn. You're right. Every now and then,
but he will keep it. And when it's like he knows when to turn it on.
Yeah,
he does it for an effect, not because that's his personality.
I think you have to be careful with your rah-rah stuff in the NFL.
I was going to say that's one of the reasons why Jim Harbaugh, I think, kind of he's more of a college coach. I know he had good years in San Francisco, but I think he was a little bit more rah-rah.
Yeah.
But you're right. These guys are getting paid. They don't need to hear your rah-rah. I mean, it's their profession at this point. And I know there's some times when you can kick it in.
Vrabel's pretty low-key. I love him, by the way. I think he's really good.
Mike Vrabel, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Played Ohio State.
Tennessee Titans coach, for those who don't know.
Sorry.
Tennessee Titans for our listeners.
But I think he was really wanted to go to the Browns, and he went to the Steelers. Eventually, I think he went to the Patriots first and then Steelers. But he absolutely killed the Browns every time he get a chance. And I wanted him to come and coach us a few years ago.
Right. Well, he's turned out to be a good coach.
But and it's funny because everybody on that team, it seems, has his personality.
Yes.
They have, I think they call it buying in.
Right.
They really have bought into. Vrabel's a tough, hard-nosed guy, and he coaches a well-disciplined team. It's kind of interesting. They got rid of A.J. Brown. Didn't want to pay him.
Did you see?
Vrabel was furious.
Did you see Vrabel's face during the draft?
I didn't. I mean, I probably did.
He didn't know they were trading him.
Blake and I were out in Las Vegas, and we were laughing because you look at his face when it comes down in the war room.
They flashed
that they
to
are
him.
shipping A.J. Brown to the Eagles, Chuck. He was ticked.
He was so mad.
Well, you think that Parcells' best line, one of his best lines was, hey, if I'm going to cook the food, at least let me we buy some of the ingredients. And I thought about that, and I'm pretty sure Vrabel has been a very good coach for Tennessee. He would have liked to have been on that conversation.
Sure.
I mean, A.J. Brown, what do y'all think? Top 10, 15?
At worst, top 10. Probably.
I get it. They didn't want to. They didn't want to pay that wide receiver money that they're getting right now. I understand that, but
how many guys can take? How you're a diehard NFL fan. How many guys can take a jet sweep from the line of scrimmage at the wide receiver position and go? That doesn't happen.
Tyreek Hill,
right?
You got some speed, but the thing about A.J. Brown, as you guys know, he wasn't just a receiver. He was a running back. He was built. I watched him in his first game in Cleveland. Guess how that went for the Browns? It was one of the most miserable experiences in my life. Red eye, both. Anyway, A.J. Brown just killed the Browns. So good. And I was like, how did this guy not go? And he's
deceptive because he's so thick.
Thick, yeah.
Okay, because of you said, he's built like when you and I were growing up, an 80s running back.
Right. Yeah, it's good.
But he will get to the second level on you, and you're like, I don't understand what just happened.
Right. Again, in the passing league that the NFL has become, when you have that number one receiver locked in and he's producing, invest in that guy.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It's like the Cowboys moving off Amari, and now y'all have him.
Blake, I was going to mess with you about that.
Would you have done that?
Well, I guess it's because of the cap situation.
But that's because of previous decisions. It's the same thing Tennessee's facing. Should they have gone all in on Derrick Henry? Sure. I mean, at the time he was great, but now you're on an aging running back whose best years, maybe he's got one more in him, and then whereas you had A.J. Brown, who's a young receiver you could have relied on for 10 years.
And that's the difference in the running back situation versus the wide receiver. Just looked at the longevity.
Right.
And productivity.
Wide receiver.
I mean, Fitzgerald just retired. He was 53 years old.
But even the average, good receiver, Fitzgerald being an outlier, even the average good receiver still has a longer timeline than a running back.
Devontae could still, barring injury, could still have 4 more really good years at 20, which would take him to 33-ish.
Can I drop a Larry Fitzgerald nugget? Since he just retired.
Class act.
He had more tackles in his NFL career, 41, than drops, 23.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Think about that. When you mention it, he is a class act. Grew up in Minnesota, was the ball boy for the Vikings.
His father.
I mean, just
Uber leader.
you couldn't dislike him.
No.
And he's just one of the, so I think he's going to do great.
Broke my heart when Pittsburgh drove down to beat them because I loved Fitzgerald.
Where's that Tito's?
No, it did. I mean, because he had just made an unbelievable play, and I thought, man, they're going to do this, and then boom.
That was one of the most exciting Super Bowls I ever saw because of not Joey Porter, the pick six at the end of halftime.
Yes.
The guy was, I cannot think of his name, rumbling down. They scored, and then, of course, Big Ben.
Yeah.
Hitting the former Ole Miss. Was it? No. Was
it was,
Holmes, right?
Yes.
Santonio Holmes.
I think it's Santonio Holmes.
They couldn't make that catch. They missed that. They dropped that 99 times out of 100.
Incredible.
But anyway, it was a great game. I hated it.
I want to go. We're talking wide receivers with NFL Chuck. Chuck Mullins on the Out of Bounds show. This segment's flying by. Oh, you may have to come back before the end of the season.
Okay.
ESPN 105.9 The Zone. What are the Saints getting in Jarvis Landry?
You're going to get a leader who will go over the middle anytime and get you 7-8 yards. Then he will provide a great little trick package play with his throwing ability, which is unbelievable. I think he had more touchdowns in his career than Johnny Manziel and Tim Couch. But no, seriously, you're going to get a leader, hard-nosed. He's coming back home. I think it's going to re-energize him.
Yes.
He played his tail off for the Browns.
Boy, he was really productive.
He really was.
And think about where he is, Chuck, with Michael Thomas being back and drafting the Ohio State Aluvé.
Oh.
And then you throw, Kamara can do so many different things.
If he's going to be playing or get suspended.
But then you got Jarvis, and I'm missing one other guy. I mean, they've got some weapons for Jameis with Jarvis coming in.
And therein lies the rub. Are y'all in on Jameis Winston?
We know what Jameis Winston
sold.
is. He can make great plays, and he can make boneheaded plays.
Yeah.
I think that year he threw for over 5,000 yards and had 40 touchdowns and 40 interceptions. Yep. Just about sums it up right there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
He's Mr. 30-30. Only QB to throw for 30 touchdowns and 30 picks in the same year. I mean, that's literally the quintessential roller coaster.
The way the game is played now,
Jameis Winston will lose you games.
In 1988, you couldn't get away with that, Chuck.
Correct.
Now, I think you can still win a ton of games, even if he's throwing picks, but if he's having these big explosive plays with the guys we just referenced.
It's the analogy that I can think of best is like the 3-point shot in the NBA.
Yes.
You see it in the 80s used sparingly, and now they're throwing them up from the youth league all the way up to the pros because they know statistically, matrix and all that stuff, you're going to make more, and that's success. That's the same way with throwing in the NFL.
How about this? If they're in the top 5 to 10 in explosive plays, then that could counter X amount of interceptions.
And that's what you're going to have. You're going to have their defense step up and get turnovers to match that.
Right.
And that's, you're going to have to do that.
And with those secondary players, they may. So are you thinking, let's get into, who do you like coming out of the AFC first? Everybody picked the Bills on the NFL Network. They went 12 for 12 for the Bills. And then we'll get to the NFC in a minute. Who do you like coming out of the AFC?
Shocker, Denver Broncos.
Oh,
the last two
Wilson
Super Bowl,
and Josh McDaniels.
The last two Super Bowl winners came from different team quarterbacks starting their different team. Tom Brady to the Bucks
and Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
Oh, but those are outliers. Hold on now. That's not a trend, is it?
Well, we'll see when Russell Wilson holds the trophy up February.
Come on now.
With that defense and the
they are good on
and
defense.
The wide receivers and the running backs, I'm telling you, and they bring him to the table.
Chiefs maybe take a slight step back.
It's got to happen. Losing Tyreek Hill is going to be difficult for them to overcome, I believe. Their defense is Mm-hmm. I don't think Mahomes himself steps back. I just think it's their team kind of resetting and need another playmaker.
Okay.
So, I mean, they still have Kelsey.
No, it's not Josh. Josh went to the Raiders.
This is
who's with the Broncos?
The not Fangio just got fired.
Yeah. No, anyway, I messed that up with
it's
Derek
Newt
Carr.
Rockney's son.
It's the former Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator who no one thinks actually was the offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett.
LaFleur.
No,
LaFleur's dude.
LaFleur's dude is Nathaniel Hackett.
There we go.
The question is, did he actually run the offense in Green Bay, or was LaFleur running the offense / Aaron Rodgers?
So you got Justin Herbert. Who
Mahomes,
in our
Herbert,
fantasy draft,
Wilson.
we had a guy referring to him as A-Bear.
Yeah, love
But
that
Justin
guy.
Herbert, Carr, Russell, and Mahomes.
See, what you're sleeping on is that the Raiders are the best, got the best additions in that division. I know that the Broncos got Russell Wilson. He's the most important player because he plays quarterback. I understand.
He's a big
The
baller.
Raiders picked up Devontae Adams. They already had Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. I think the Raiders are a sneaky team to watch in the AFC. They're in the toughest division, but that's a sneaky good team.
That division is loaded. We've got 3 minutes. Unfortunately, that went by really fast.
That's what she said.
NFC, yeah. NFC, who do you like coming out of the NFC? It's not Dallas.
It's not Dallas, and I don't know why, but Green Bay. I want to
everything they
see
lost?
Green Bay Packers. I don't know why. They've been so close, and he's so good. I don't know how he keeps doing it with the lack of talent. But yeah, so the Packers and the Broncos. Oh, Bo's writing it down.
Yeah, I have to.
That's a terrible pick.
Did y'all know that
Oh
Bo's
my
left-handed? I did not know
Yes.
that.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
You picked the Broncos
Yes.
to come out of the toughest division in the AFC.
Correct.
And you picked the Packers, who lost their number 1 and number 2 receivers.
All you have to do is get in. I didn't say they were going to win the division.
Yikes.
That's
Hey,
true.
look at the Bengals last year. Browns beat them twice, and they go to the Super Bowl.
You chose to be a Browns fan,
Y'all
so
beat the
Bengals twice. Yes, sir. Blew them out the first time. The second time they were resting their starters. But with Burrow,
Saints did it to Tampa Bay, too.
yeah, good point.
I know.
But then nobody expected the Bengals to make the playoffs, much less go on the run. So it's about getting hot at the right time.
It's also going to be different this year, too, because the Bengals now get looked at as someone who's good.
That's right.
It's a whole lot different.
It is a whole different
When you
ball
play
game.
a season where people go, oh, you're good? Okay, we'll play.
Yeah.
Then it's a different
If
type
And
of
the
thing.
expectations on the players, that's where, Burrow, I love Burrow. I really do. And Jamar Chase, and they're so good. But the expectations on young players, they're going to try to force it. That happens. I hope it happens to give us a chance to beat them twice. But
I don't know what y'all are going to do with
Doormat.
without a QB
Doormat
until
franchise.
December. Good.
Browns
Whatever
Browns are
that
going to be
is,
like
late
3
November,
and
early
did you watch Josh Dobbs at all? Former Tennessee quarterback play this.
Does it have a life?
Listen, he's on the. He's the Browns' backup quarterback. He looks
Still?
amazing.
No, he doesn't.
I promise you.
Really?
If you put it on, you're like, is that Lamar Jackson?
Didn't he spend some time with the Steelers?
He did.
Okay.
Me and Gavin, my son, almost got in a fight with a guy wearing a Dobbs jersey a few years ago. But anyway,
that's the most Browns thing I've ever heard. Me and my son were at a game, and we almost got in a fight with this guy wearing a jersey. Go Browns!
We got 60 seconds. Are you going to make it to Cleveland this year or no?
if I stay sane, I'm not going to go, especially in November, December, because it's so cold up there.
Yeah.
I think I'll prefer the man cave.
Oh, absolutely.
Who makes more games, Chuck Mullins or Deshaun Watson?
Oh, wow. Throwing those softballs up.
Because I can't hear it. Now I can. All right. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Chuck Mullins, thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. Enjoyed
Appreciate it. NFL Chuck in the house. Have a great Thursday. We'll be live from Meridian, their new Marriott Hotel, the 3-foot hotel, 16 stories in downtown Meridian. It is a tribute portfolio hotel underneath the Marriott brand that they just restored and renovated. We'll be live from the rooftop bar tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to noon. And Chuck said that I can have a Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary in hour number 3, which will be 11 a.m. Everybody at ESPN 105.9 The Zone is excited that we'll be on from 6 a.m. to noon. Don't forget to hit Apple Podcasts, search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Have a great day. Enjoy the Bills and the Rams. See you.